If you are a US citizen and you want to apply for a Chinese tourist visa, this video is for you. There are two ways to apply for the Chinese tourist visa as a US citizen. The first way is going through the official Chinese online visa application, also known as COVA. So you just go to Google and Google Chinese online visa application. Is going to bring up the page, and then you want to select the language you're comfortable using, and then you want to select North America. Now when you select North America, it's going to show you the different locations where they have the Chinese embassy in the United States. There's Washington D.C., there's Houston, but Houston office is currently closed right now. There's Los Angeles, there's New York, there's San Francisco, and there's Chicago. You select whichever Chinese embassy location that is closest to you, and then it's going to take you to the page where you have to start your application. Now, you have to know this, for US citizens, you do not need a visa appointment to go to the Chinese embassy. Once you fill out the application, you can just walk into the embassy at any time during business hours and submit your application. So what documents are you going to need when filling out the application? First of all, you have your personal information, right? You're going to fill out your country. You need a passport photo, so you have to go to Walgreens or CVS or wherever you can get a passport photo, because you're going to have to upload that passport photo, your date of birth, your gender, your place of birth, your marital status, and also your nationality, and most especially you're going to need your US passport information. Now, the second thing, they're going to ask you the visa type. I applied for a tourist visa, so you select your visa type, and then your work history. You're going to have to put in your work information if you're self-employed, or if you're employed by an employer, it's going to ask you those details. And then you need your education history. If you went to high school, college, whatever education you have, you go ahead and add that information on there. And then your family information. Do you have a family in China? If you do have a family in China, they're going to request you to add the details of your family, but I did not, so it was not applicable to me. Also, you need to provide information about your travel, where you're going to be, what province or what city you're going to be entering at, dates of departures and arrivals. All of that information is going to be needed. Now, you do not need a flight ticket for this application. You do not need to have a standard flight ticket booked for this application. All you need is to give in the date that you intend. The next thing is you're going to fill out your past travels within the last 12 months. If you've been out of the United States, they want to know. So you put in that information, and then any other information they're going to ask you, you fill that out. And then personal filing for the application. If you are a third party doing the filing for someone, they're going to need that information as well. And then when you're done filling out all these details, you would review your application, and then you will submit. Now, once you submit, it's going to download the application. You will print it out, and then you have to have the following documentations before you go to the embassy. So you need to gather all the documents. You need to have your passport. You need to have your national ID, maybe your driver's license. If you're neutralized US citizens, you need to have a copy of your certificate of neutralization. And then you do not need to have your employment history or bank statement. Those are not required. And then you need to have your passport, and then you also need to have some kind of declaration to say if you had traveled in the last 12 months, the dates that you actually traveled in the specific country that you actually went to. And you can make it like a short note, like a PDF documentation, and just print it out. And that's everything. Gather these applications, and then you also need an application fee. It might vary. It's $140, but it might change. I don't know. And then That's it. Gather your document, go to the Chinese embassy of your location of preference, submit your documents. It takes 5 to 10 business days for you to go back and pick up your passport with your visa, depending on the validity of your passport. Usually Chinese embassies would issue 10 years tourist visas. So usually the Chinese embassy would issue a 10 years tourist visa to all US citizens, unless otherwise, if your passport is valid for 10 years, they will definitely give you a 10 years tourist visa. And that's the process. That's the end of the first process.